The last 3 years have been the roughest and toughest period for Uganda's tourism sector. COVID-19 pandemic restrictions, economic slowdown, and the more recent Ebola virus outbreak drained resources and the energy of the public and private sector players. Natalie Van P., a tour operator and director of Nile Safari Lodge in Murchison Falls National Park, recounts their trials.
We opened on the 13th of September 2019. In December, the outbreak of COVID started. The country was shut down, we had lockdown, the airport was closed, and even movement with cars in Uganda was completely blocked.
Despite the tough times, going for months without hosting a single guest, the lodge proprietors had to keep a skeleton team of workers around to maintain the place in anticipation of better days.
If it was any client we could get, just after training all our staff, 80% are locals from the Mubako village. So after training all our staff, there was no way of closing. We kept the lodge going, even if it was one client a week or a month. So we kept strong, we kept all our employees during the COVID time, and our team stayed strong together. Most of them were still with them today. And also I thank them for being there with us on the hardest time.
After the full reopening of the economy in early 2022 and the declaration of Uganda being Ebola virus-free, sector players like Natalie and Lilia Jarova, the Chief Executive Officer, Uganda Tourism Board, are ecstatic as the sector, a top revenue earner for the country, comes back to life.
As we see now, things are picking up and it's exciting. I believe that we are heading up for a really good season this year that should lead us to the recovery of the number that we had in 2019.
Rob Walker, a globally acclaimed British sports commentator and a celebrated sports personality, is one of the recent visitors to Murchison Falls National Park.
300 cubic meters of water drop 45 meters every single second. And you can feel the ground rumbling underneath you.
At the Nile Safari Lodge, they focus on exclusivity due to their limited number of rooms. Their target clientele are therefore high-end like Rob Walker.
It's always a pleasure to host anyone actually, because we want to give everyone the same service. But someone like Rob Walker, who is a sports journalist and has such a career, it makes it even better because we know that the way he feels about our lodge will replicate throughout, worldwide.
Uganda's tourism industry has the potential to challenge and even surpass some of the leading tourism destinations globally. But there is a concern of sector prioritization and resource allocation by government.
How much do we get from tourism? How much do they get back? You find that tourism, which gives the country, I think it's the second, if I'm correct. Before COVID, it was the first. If we could put in more money to tourism, how much money would we be able to get into this country? But at the end of the day, as a country, as a government, we have our priorities as of now.
In the next financial year, 2023-2024, the sector is facing a more than 50% slash on budgetary allocation, a move that analysts believe will hurt more a sector on a recovery trajectory. Dennis Sigoa for UBC News.